Hello, and welcome to another episode of Minecraft with Winkleberg. I am your host, Winkleberg, and today we are going to be worried about this area, which is the entrance to our base, which is the embassy for the dwarves and the elves. Obviously, this is the dwarven entrance, and we have the elven entrance over here. So originally what I had planned was that these would be kind of inset into the mountain, and looking back on it and looking forward into it, I think I I don't really want that. I want them to be kind of grand entrances because this is a very important building, almost like a courthouse or another something that would be a monument in the land that people are going to want to come see. It's going to be a very elegant and unique design, so people are going to want to come see it. So why would you want to hide that inside a kind of a hidden entryway? You wouldn't. You'd want to have it be like a grandeur entrance, and you want it to look really nice. So from the last episode, if you watched that, you'll notice that we have finished both of the hallways on both sides, and we've added a few more details like these stair blocks to give the floor a little bit of contour. We added some lights in the ceiling to give that a little bit of nice look. I still need to complete this ceiling. I guess I just forgot about that. I didn't notice till now. But we added this floor pattern into the hallway, which repeats all the way down, and then this is going to be the main, where I want the main entryway to be. So we are going to need to do some work here and work on some arches. So I think the first thing that we're going to have to do is get this area cleared out a little bit. So I'm going to grab my shovel here, and we're just going to clear this out. Okay, so this is what we have right now. I don't think that we're going to keep this. We need to do something with this middle part right underneath the glowstone. So I'm kind of going to use these glowstone and sea lantern shapes as like the telltale signs of like your entrance. So I think what we're going to do is put some stone slabs underneath them to kind of finish that off, give it a little bit more of a raised entryway there. Okay, perfect. I think that looks really nice. Maybe let's add some stairs in here like this. Give that a little bit of shape to it. Okay, yeah, it's looking way better. We need to, I think we need, you know what, maybe we just leave it like that. I think that's actually pretty good. It's kind of bland. There's not a whole lot going on to it, but it's okay. I mean, it's just a standard entryway, nothing too crazy. But we kind of want this to be, I don't know, if you look at it from down here, we're gonna have to terraform this way a little bit too. We're gonna raise all this up to about, oh, I don't know, probably this level right here actually. So we're gonna have quite a lot of work to do. We're gonna have to terraform this entire basin here because you're not gonna want to see this. You're not gonna be looking at this from down underneath. You're gonna want to be coming in straight at a straight angle so you can see these two archways kind of like protruding out of the mountain. So what I'm actually going to have to do is these two originally weren't the same depth, but I think I'm going to want to bring them both out so they're matching. And then what I plan on doing is adding a glass. I'm going to replace every dirt block that's like currently dirt on the backside of this mountain to where the throne room is going to be, or the conference room. And we're going to replace all those with glass, dig that out, and we're going to have a really cool like natural light feature coming in through here, which is going to be, I think, really nice looking. It's going to pair well with the classic style of these arch entryways and add in that kind of modern feel to the build. So in the back, you're gonna be able to see like a really cool like feature in there, and be like, whoa! And it's gonna be like lit, and it's gonna be lit from the inside. It's gonna look really cool. So I'm gonna bring this out, finish that part up, and I'll probably, if I change anything big, I'll let you know. But other than that, I'll probably finish this up and then go start work on the throne room, which will be way more interesting than doing hallways and archways anyways. So we will get back to you when I start on that. So I finished the two tunnelways, and I'm just about to begin work on the main entry, the main throne room, the main conference room. That's going to be up here. I'm not sure whether I'm going to do a round table style where there's going to be a big, like a circular area where everyone's going to sit in the middle and have kind of a like round table discussion, or if I'm going to have it be more like the United Nations kind of setup where there's going to be like at one podium in the middle or one podium at the front, or maybe even like I said, like a throne, and then have people, coming to that one person to listen and then delegate that way. I'm leaning more towards, I want it to be more of an open discussion room because this is a place where different cultures come together to have civilized discussion. So, I mean, that's what I'd prefer, but I'm not sure if that's exactly how it's going to work out. So we're gonna see if that's the way it comes together, and then I don't know, we'll just kind of see how it comes. We'll see how it comes together. I'm pretty sure I'm just gonna leave these entrances like this. I think this is pretty cool. Once we get some sort of pathway coming down to this main area, I think it's gonna look really good. It's gonna be really nice. I mean, like I said, we have a ton of terraforming to do over here. It's gonna take just a very large amount of time for very minimal return. But when you want to make a good build, that's something you have to do. Is you just gotta put in the time to terraform. You have to make everything look exactly how you want it. But that's the beauty of Minecraft, is anything that you want to do, you can do. So I'm gonna get started working on this throne room, on this conference room, and then we will get back. I still need to add some kind of gate over there. I'm not sure exactly what we're gonna do there because so far nothing that I've tried has really looked very good. So we're gonna have to see. I'm not sure exactly what we're gonna do. But it's time to begin work. We're gonna take down the sponge throne. It's been there for too long now. I don't know what the best way to take down sponges is. An axe, maybe? This doesn't seem exactly like the best way, but this is what we're doing. So we're gonna take down the sponge throne. It's lived a good life here as a placeholder, but now it's time to get started on the actual build. Right, so I've been digging out this the main room here, and right here already is where the outside is starting. You can see the snow and the grass forming on the outside of these dirt blocks. So instead of just digging out kind of ambiguously and just kind of waiting until I hit the surface on random places, plus it's going to be really hard to start digging up here. I'm going to have to dig out, like pillar up and dig out, which is rather annoying. So what I'm going to actually do is head outside here, and I'm going to dig out the outside. So, I mean, the plan was originally is every outside block that was going to be facing the outside here, which, now I have no idea which ones are which, but I'm going to guess it's going to be somewhere up here, somewhere kind of right in between here, hopefully. Hopefully it's these blocks right here that are turning into the throne room, but what we're going to do is we're going to dig out one block at a time and replace it with glass. And then every block that isn't seen from the room is then going to be, we'll put it back to dirt, is pretty much what I'm trying to say here. So it's just all these outside ones. I mean, every block we just got to take out, put the next one in with glass. I think that's going to be the easiest way to do this. It might not be, I don't know, it might not be the most efficient way. I've never actually built something like this before. Alright, cool. So we found it. So this is where we're starting. I was way, way, way too low. I was digging way down there. So, alright, good thing we did this. So yeah, so this is what I'm going to do is I'm going to replace all of these blocks over here. And then we will see. We're just going to dig down, and then we can replace blocks and make, what kind of window we actually want here. Let me get rid of that. We can see then, the shape. We'll have the side shape of the mountain, which is probably why this is actually coming over here. We're actually going to have a lot of room this way because this goes up quite a ways. So we should have a nice little view. Maybe we'll do two side windows, so like a window over here, and then maybe one coming all the way back out the front right here, because I think that would look kind of cool if it's overlooking the front there. Let's see if I can hit this guy. Way overshot him. God. The Optifine dynamic lighting, though, is amazing. Sometimes I just run around at night and shoot creepers. So, quick progress update. I have begun clearing out this side, and as you can see, it's a very peculiar shape that kind of limits the space here, but this is the true form of the mountain, and I think we're going to keep it like that. It comes in a lot this direction over here, so I think it's going to open up a lot more over here. So we might have kind of a staircase that's off to the side a little bit, but that's okay. We can come up over here and then have like a big open area over there if that's how it works out. So what I think I'm going to do is I'm going to keep this height right here, so I'm not going to go any higher than this with the glass. But then I'm going to kind of at this level right here, we're going to kind of cut it off, come all the way down to, oh, let's say about this one. This will probably be the max height over here. And then we're going to wrap this all the way around the mountain. So let's dig out right here so I can show you guys a little bit of how this is going to work. So if you can see right here, okay, I got to take that out still. But these are the two main entryways, so it's not going to go too much farther over here. I anticipate it going, I mean, obviously it's going to wrap around to right here. So this is going to be the end of the wraparound, and then it's going to come back up on this side, so we have a whole other like corner that's facing out. So you can see both sides of the kingdom. So you can see this side over here, and you can see this side over here. So I think that's going to be a really cool effect once we have all of that done. And it's going to be really nice to be able to look out over there and see all of that. Before I go back to building, another thing I wanted to mention is that during this design process, so I came up with the idea of having this be the main meeting room, and then, you know, kind of as I was thinking about it, as I was building the main entryways, I thought, you know what, wouldn't it be really cool if as you're meeting, you could look out over the kingdom, because you're having meetings probably to decide what's going to happen in the kingdom, to decide what's the fate of the land that you're ruling over. So, and you know, with all of the political things that are going on right now where I live in America and in the UK, and with all of the Brexit stuff and the 2016 election coming up, I thought, you know what would be in the best interest of the people who are ruling the country, and it's to be able to look out over the people that they are ruling and to make decisions that are really based on what is best for the people, which I think kind of gets away from our politicians these days. So, you know, I really wanted this design to kind of reflect, I know, my political view, which is that all decisions of our leaders should be made for the people and what's best for the people. And even if it doesn't always seem that way, I think that is really kind of what I find to be the most important thing about being a political leader. It's always something I've been interested in, is political science and things like that. So I kind of wanted to make this build to reflect those views. So, I mean, I didn't start out thinking like, okay, we're going to have glass over here. But the point of this whole little tangent is that even if you start out with an idea, it can evolve, and don't fight that evolution of your idea unless you're doing, of course, a build like distinctly off of something in real life. Like I did the Rapunzel's Tower on this server too, which I'll go show at some point in one of these videos. It's way off in the distance over there, so it may take a while to get to. But unless you're doing a design like that, like don't be afraid of your design changing mid build. Like I came over here and design kind of led itself to this idea. So you can put in a big conference table right here, like a long table maybe. And then you can see out this window, and you can see out the other window, and you can see, okay, you know, it helps the ambiance of the room, maybe in the feng shui, to get into the feel of making the right decision. So that's what this build is going to reflect. I might even put in like a little partition here in the middle, like a nice fancy wall, but then leave this backspace open, so maybe on breaks they can go around and look out over every angle, and you know, then you can walk right down the stairs and look at the Bay Area. So I think all of those kind of come into factor when I was building this, and something that everyone should kind of take into account when they're building is that, you know, once you have an idea for what you want to build, just let it flow. Let the ideas come to you as you're building, and as you're, you know, digging out huge large spaces like this, it's probably going to change a little bit, and don't be afraid of that. Let it happen and just kind of roll with it. So I'm going to keep digging this out. Keep adding glass all the way around this texture, add that wall over there, and unless something super interesting happens, I will see you then. Alright, I'm just about finished digging all of this out, and I thought I'd give you another update on how this is all going, how it's all turning out. Oh boy. So we're going to do this, that. Okay. So as far as the update goes, what I was going to do is I counted the blocks kind of from these entryways that the glass went over, but when I did that, it really looked kind of off-centered, like it didn't really look like correct. So what I had to do was I had to move the glass on the right side over. So like that whole wall right there, like that wall right there is going to be turned into glass, because that kind of makes it look a little bit more centered, because that's so far recessed and this is so out in front. I had to move it over. So even though originally like I wanted it to be centered, that's kind of one of the things you have to take into account when you're working with a natural feature like a mountain, is that the depth perception is going to come into play quite a bit. So even though this one does start right here on the second block and go 2 blocks outside of this, it's going to look a little bit better if this one extends a little farther out to this side and doesn't start quite as close. Like it goes almost all the way across the whole thing before it actually starts. So here we are. The whole space is dug out now, and we are just starting to put up the border around this back wall. So if you notice, it kind of looks a little bit jank right here, but that's because the depth at which that this glass goes back is equivalent to the depth that this glass goes back. So there's like a line right here to where the glass kind of stops at the top, and this just happens to be the edge of the mountain over here. So we'll work something out. I don't know if we'll cut this wall off kind of straight here, or if we'll have it recede back with the glass to have this kind of cascading effect down. Right now we have the whole roof, the whole ceiling. I guess I keep calling it a roof, but it's actually the ceiling. The whole ceiling dug out to the same depth. I'm assuming when we get more into this build that will recede back up, so we'll get a little bit of a indent into the ceiling up there. That's probably going to be the goal. So I marked this off right here to just to give me like a space where I was going to cut it off, because I wanted it to be higher on both sides, or the glass anyways, to be higher on both sides. So that's kind of what we did there, and I think I still have to take these blocks out. Okay, yeah, so all of those have to be glass, which I don't have any glass. So I'll go grab some. Pretty much what we're going to be... Wow, I really don't have any glass. I left it all down. Alright, we'll replace those blocks right there that I just took out. But then we're pretty much going to... And we're just going to start building, you know? I have absolutely no idea what this is going to look like. I set up these dirt blocks here as kind of a template for where the main conference table is going to be. This might be a little bit big. I'm not really sure yet exactly the size it's going to be. So as we go along, this is going to start taking shape. It's going to get a little bit more features, and it'll kind of be a work in progress for quite a while. I'm not sure exactly how much I'm going to be able to get done today, but I'm going to do a little bit more work, and we'll come back when we're done for the day and probably wrap up this video when we're about halfway through with this room, and then we'll finish it in the next video. So I'm going to do... Alright, so we pretty much finished doing all of this work up here. As you can see, like when you come up the stairs, it's pretty much like super off kilter. But I mean, that's one of the challenges you face is when you're building into a mountainside. Like it's just not going to be symmetrical perfectly. But I did want to have like a main focal point of the room, which is going to come down straight off here. So this little area over here is going to be more of the straight pathway on the other side. I'm letting it snow a little bit so it can fill back up the areas of snow that I removed. I'm not going to clear the weather or anything. Oh, hello. What are you doing over there? Oh, you want to come get me, but you can't because it's all sealed off. Anyways, so I'm going to put in like the big table around here, but I'm going to leave it pretty much open for the most part, because I mean that's essentially what this is a big conference room. I've kind of decided to not put in a big throne here because I mean it doesn't really go with the theme, you know. Like if I'm really gonna make this a conference area, like an embassy room where different people come to meet, I mean, I can put like a head chair maybe at the side of the table over here, with the long table going this way. I'm going to add the light fixture at the top as well, to really accentuate the room and the ceiling. But for the most part, you don't want to have a big throne in here, because that would symbolize that one person is ruling over everyone, which isn't what we have here. We have more of a democracy, a communal area where everyone can decide what's best for the community as a whole. I mean, you're going to have your representatives, obviously, but they're going to be the ones that are sitting around discussing. So having a throne doesn't make sense, which is why we took it out. Added these features for support over here. I do wish that this would be more centered, which I might still go back and do. I might come back, center this straight on this little outcrop here. I'm not exactly sure what it is, like this little overhang here. Center this this main part on there. It would be a little bit of work to do, but not impossible by any means. I might have to work on taking some of this out so I can recenter it, but that'll be something to do in the next episode if I decide to do it. And then we'll finish off this room, add in the table, and just finish all that stuff up. But that'll be the next episode. We're not gonna do that here. It's already pretty late. I've been doing this for like 3 or 4 hours now to get all this cleared out. So it's been quite the task to get all of it done, but I'm pretty happy with how it turned out. We're gonna work on the floor too, add some details in there. I think once we get the big table in the middle, it won't be such a big deal, because that's going to take up a lot of the room, a lot of the space over here. So it's not going to be that big of a deal. But other than that, I think I'll probably work on this some more, get things changed around before we come back next time. So I think that's going to be it for today. So thanks for watching, and hopefully we'll see you next time.